Welcome everyone. I'm so happy to be here and see all of you.
We're so happy you're here.
Thank you. Okay, we can go. We're done. All right, let's do our on-time trivia. BOLD is an acronym for what? Oh, dear.
We got 1 minute.
Anybody else? Oh, I know it.
I think I know it. I feel like I'm wrong. Business of Life by Design?
No.
No.
Oh,
Business objective, life by design.
There you go.
There you go.
and we are going to talk about BOLD in just a little bit here, but first let's welcome, if you are visitors, if you're a new agent or a visitor, will you stand and introduce yourself? If you're a general agent who hasn't been here.
Just had a shy one back there.
Oh, will you tell us who you are?
Just to say,
Will you tell us your name?
my name is Kelvesa. I'm a new real estate agent.
He just joined the tribe. We just met and you're busy taking ethics right now online. right?
Yes. He has multiple clients that are ready for him to go, so he's like, I need to do a showing. I said, Code of Ethics, get that key pin, buddy.
That's awesome. Good
We're
job.
going.
Congrats on that.
Rocking
Welcome. Welcome. All right, did we get everybody? Let's let's share a little love, a little gratitude, fill a bucket. I'm gonna start. I want to thank Addison. She's been busting her behind.
Yeah.
Decorating. Everything's purple, so thank you for that. We're excited about it.
Yes.
A lot of work. And everybody who helped with the wind down, who was there? Wasn't it fun?
So fun.
It was fun to gather, so thank you everyone who participated in that. We got to see our vendors and it was such a good time. We had a couple headaches, but that's okay. We're Sugar House. Anyone else? Rich?
Yeah, so I've had a listing that's been on the market for a little bit. I don't know if anybody else has had that. Probably not the same.
Everyone will get that chance.
Go ahead, Ben, Beasley, Mark Nicholas, Bouchard, Tamara Reaper, Barrow, and Christopher McGee come to my listing and help with pricing and a little what needs to be done. And took that to the seller or our contract.
As this market changes and listings stay on longer, I think that we do that for each other. Rich has a simple sheet, which was give your opinion as an agent on the price, condition, what they could do to improve it. And then when you give that to your seller, it's so much easier. It's not coming from you, it's coming from your peers. And it's, we used to do that in the old days, right, Dave?
Old days, why?
I just heard, I didn't know. So if you want to do something like that, let me know, because I'm sure it will be helpful in getting reductions, so. Dave.
I just want to give some recognition to the Intro Lem team. They were in last Thursday feeding us breakfast. They're giving us all kinds of good information. Great asset here.
Thank you, Mike. Phoenix?
The feedback of Coach Dave and thank Grant Money for helping out my client. And he's been, we were already under contract, he's been super creative. My client's gonna bring less money to the table and pay like $200 less a month than I ordered. So Rich.
And I'm going to piggyback that. Miguel Ramirez has had a deal that's been trying to die on the table, and it's just CPR after CPR. Grant got into it, and less money to close, less money per month. The client thinks Miguel is the greatest realtor on the planet right now.
Yay. Oh, that's wonderful. And Brent's office is right over by Addison. If anyone wants to go over and get some financial advice for their buyer and kind of learn a little bit more what they do, the door is always open. Thank you for that.
Sean Erickson on Zoom wants to thank Risa, Alex Chavez, and John Bass for watching his business while he was gone last week. You got a buyer under contract, and Taylor Westmoreland, it's like being a good friend, so
Taylor, you can slap.
because he get offered help on Saturday. Like, we're homies, I don't know how to say last name. Taylor.
Thank you, Sean. Anybody else on Zoom? Okay. Any other gratitude buckets, Phil Taylor?
I wanted to thank Linda for being my mentor and actually encouraging me to go do the things because it's leading me to success.
It's a good mentor.
I love it. Go do the things. That's a good slogan.
Yep, so I also, everybody knows I love Linda. She was my mentor first, but I also I wanted to fill your bucket because it was really cool experiencing like through your eyes a KW event, like a new person. It was really fun to see him like get all excited. I was like, this is what I'm here, is what it's about. So thank you.
And that is contagious. Taylor's gonna be on our panel, talking here in just a little bit.
Yep.
So are you. A little old, a little new. All right, anyone else? Nope. Oh, Marty.
I want to thank Sabrina, my co-agent, and this itty bitty condo that I have downtown is really darling. We dropped the price 350,000. It's 1 bedroom, and there's a grant in Salt Lake of 10,000 somebody purchases. So we're hoping if somebody has a 1 bedroom client, it's going to be short because it shows really well.
Did you say you dropped it 350? I'll take it.
We start off at 415, we're down to 350.
I think that's gonna do it.
Thank you, appreciate it.
We'll put it out there for you.
Thank you.
You bet. Anyone else? We'll get right to our cultural icon. Maybe that was you. Who gave you the icon?
Brandon.
Oh,
No.
Brandon.
Yeah.
So I don't do well standing in front of people, and I'm even more suspicious, so this is gonna be really short. She honestly not only has embraced the values and ethics of the office, but she's to share it with everybody. Bree?
By the way.
She's been showing up a lot more recently, yeah.
Sabrina also loves getting up in front of you.
Yeah, I love it. She wants to be the center of attention.
Boy, you know how, I got a head cold. You know how everything sounds when you got your earbuds in? I swear to God, I was over there going, do I have these things in? I'm muffled, everything's muffled. Who do you guys want to do business with?
You.
Anybody?
Each other.
No, seriously, we've had a couple of conversations with Annie and with me and even Liz sent me over a ditty here a little. Who do you guys want to do business with? If you were in a position, if we were in last year's market, you get multiple offers, okay? You obviously look at the offer, but do you also look at who wrote the offer?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you select something there? What is it that draws
Only
you?
the people you like to work with.
Why do you like to work with them? Seriously, though, why do you like to work with
Well,
them?
because they're professional and they're not assholes.
They stay in contact with you.
They stay in contact? Yeah, I'm sitting here, your professional reputation, we're going into a market where your reputation is going to help you. So what is your professional reputation? If you are a brand new agent, do you have a reputation? Try to keep it away from Rex, but how do you build a reputation?
I did the right things for the meeting.
I did some looking up, professional reputation, how do you build one? Consistent behavior over time. Okay, well, some of you don't have the time, so you need to create the habits that Dave's always talking about and demonstrate them over time to build the reputation, right? If you build the reputation of, you know, we know agents out there that are gonna throw offers up on the wall and they continuously cancel them off, those offers, and you know you're not gonna make it to the finish line. Is that building a reputation, and you wanna do business with them?
Yes.
Right? Trust yourself. Demonstrate integrity. I'm gonna talk to you about Annie's little situation here in just a minute, but this morning, one of the things that stood out in my call is we have some options here. And in her analysis of the options, she counseled her clients, first of all, to do that is an option, but it's bad karma. And it's setting a stage, okay? So demonstrate integrity, trust yourself, keep learning and share. That's what we're doing here today, is you constantly are continuing to learn and you share what it is you learn. That's going to help the people around you. That's going to build your reputation. Network with some people. Again, KW event. Did you meet anybody at the event down there that you might do business with in the future? And you have that one little elevator moment to impress upon them you are the person they want to do business with. Honor your obligations. If you make an offer, Annie, if you make an offer, she received the offer, but she received the offer for substantially more than the property was listed for, cash, closed Monday. When did you get the offer? Saturday. Closed Monday. She humped, got her side done and closed it. The other side didn't come through. You excited to do business with them again? As a matter of fact, we had a conversation about having a broker conversation. Communicate professionally. I've been seeing a lot of these things. You get little squabbles going, and we all have these little squabbles and stuff. And I've seen people go, here, I just send me your text chain. And they send over a text chain, and we're going, well, what do you think would be the result? They're going, the result to jump off the cliff. And professionally coming back the other way, there's a lot of reactive people out there, and it's not very professional the way things are happening. Be genuine and trustworthy. Give credit where credit's due. I stand up here and talk about all the bad things that I deal with on a daily basis, but I am so impressed on how some of you guys handle these things, and hopefully you're feeling the credit this morning. Liz sent me a text message that says, hey, we're working with an agent who works with a company that doesn't have a trust account. Can we deposit at the title company or here? Okay. What did I say first thing?
They're dunks. Don't work with them.
First of all brokerages have trust accounts. That's one of the requirements. Okay, so now in statement number one, you're dealing with somebody unknowledgeable, overseen by a broker who's either lazy or just not telling his agents.
I don't know, maybe it was like they asked if they could deposit it. It was a question for Jay.
But I mean, again, little clues that you get. Again, I talked about Annie.
Annie's there.
Annie,
She'll be here all day.
Show up late for Wixie again to see what happens. Incidentally, she logged in after we left. So she gets this offer. It's $35,000 more than was listed for in a multiple offer situation in this kind of a market. Cash closed Monday.
Yep.
They were figuring out whether or not they had enough time to get it done on Monday, and they figured we'll just put the screws to everybody and get it done. At 4:45, other agent is calling and saying, hey, we want to do a name change, you get an extension. Her people are already there at the closing. Okay, and she's going, no, not gonna happen, not gonna happen. Money was actually wired into the title company. Title company is good, but in order to facilitate what the seller's needs were, they had to incur an additional $250 cost for an advanced 1031 and the documentation there. Okay. Sellers now, buyers are in default. Sellers have their choice to accept what? The earnest money's liquidated damages, $30,000. Okay. Or give them an extra day. Okay. So there's the option. Annie's conversation is, well, what do you want to do? And they're saying, well, it costs us $250 more for this advanced 1031. Can we ask the buyer to pay it? Yeah, you can. And his question to me was, is that not petty?
Yeah.
They're getting $35,000 more than they were asking. They're getting it done in literally 96 hours. And it's cash that's already been wired to the title company. Are you being petty for $250? And so is that going to build a reputation? Now, I'm not saying you don't call them on it. Annie's conversation was, no, we're gonna get through with this transaction, but I think this agent does not realize that by doing it that way, he risked $30,000 of his client's money. And he made us all look bad, okay? What is his reputation? And are you anxious to get back in business with him? Talk for the day.
Thank you.
Oh, the room filled up. Good. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
That was a little bit scattered. Let me try that one more time. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, wonderful. Every week it's a little more difficult to follow Broker Dave. He just gets better with age. Sorry about that. Actually, I need a favor from you later, so I'm not going to make fun. I've got a commission check problem that we got to figure out. Anybody ever heard of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent?
Yeah.
Cool little red book. We read it once or twice a year. On page 22, Gary Keller says that nothing will have a bigger impact on your ability to succeed in this business other than your willingness to do the work of real estate sales. Okay? Not your talent, not your genetic makeup, not where you're from, not who your friends are. Your willingness to engage in the work of real estate sales. Okay? On my team, every week we do an action tracker, right? Or at least you're supposed to. Okay? And we track how many calls we make, how many connections we make, all these things, right? And we look at this. What do we call this? What do I call that, Angela? I don't call it an action tracker. What do I call it?
Resume.
Your resume, right?
Yeah.
Because every Thursday morning we pull out our resume and we look at it and we ask very, very honestly, would you hire this person? Okay? And so I ask each and every one of you in this room, think about what you did last week as a real estate professional, okay? Think about the calls you made, the hours you worked, the calls you didn't make, the hours you didn't work, and ask yourself, would you hire you? Anybody got an emphatic yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Last hire me.
You'd hire you? Liz, you'd hire you?
Last week.
Last week you would. How about this one? How about this one?
This week too.
This week too. Okay, so 2 weeks in a row, you're employed.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's the question we got to keep asking ourselves, because unless you have a current listing and unless you have a buyer under contract, you're unemployed for this, right? And so every week, fill out that resume. See, what can you do to improve that resume? If I sit down with that $1.2, $1.4 million seller right now, I want to give them a resume that says I have a right to put my sign in the yard. Okay, we're going to talk about some bold laws, some other things, how it impacts how we show up here and how we show up everywhere. For now, that's where we're going to leave it. Thanks for being in business with me. It's an honor.
Now, would I hire me? Yancy, are you here?
Oh, yeah.
You're up. You're up.
Hi.
Equity
I'm
Home
sorry.
Loan.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Nancy.
Hello, how you doing?
We love you.
There's Joel. I don't think so. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Yancey Scott. This is Mr. Joel Holly, and we are Equity Home Warranty. Hi, guys. We love being a partner with you guys. We want to bring you in some Chick-fil-A today, so enjoy some mac and cheese, right? Nothing healthy, so sorry for those of you that are looking for some good stuff.
Doesn't fit the regimen, you gotta go get a salad, sorry guys.
Just want to tell you a little bit about Equity Home Warranty if you haven't used this before. We are the home warranty company that has options, you guys. So when you open it right up, we're still only $500. We did not raise our rates. Very justified in doing so. So if you're asking for $600, give your buyers that $100 credit, rekey their home, and give them a free service call fee. There's enough in there to do that, okay? So that's good to remember. And then the other thing I want to touch on is we offer seller's coverage. The market's changed. So on your listings, I've left some brochures out there. I didn't want to just scatter them all out. But we have an orange plan. Joel, tell them about seller's coverage.
Yeah, so it's free, first of all, that's the most important thing, right?
Utah's favorite F word, what is it?
In the 8 years, yeah. In the 8 years that we've offered seller's coverage, we've never invoiced a seller, not once, okay? So we're covering seller's claims for free. The goal in doing that is to try to get the buyer's policy out of it. And so that's why we ask you to help us with that if you're going to take advantage of the seller's coverage. It's It's complimentary. So listings, put them all on there. Nothing, you guys don't pay, your sellers don't pay, put it on every single listing. Listings are staying on the market a little bit longer right now, you guys know that, so it's a good idea to put those on there.
Yeah, our listing coverage has gone way up. For your information, we just celebrated our 8th year. Isn't that crazy? 8th year Equity Home Warranty's been around and we're still A+ rated, highest rated home warranty company in the state. We're still taking care of people, you guys. We're not the biggest, we just like to be the best. We like to give customer service at top notch. You're gonna get a real life person when you call still. We pride ourselves in customer service. We love being partners with Keller Williams and Sugar House Office particularly. You guys are awesome. We're gonna get your golf tournament.
One other thing, if you guys look at our contract, you're not gonna see any max payouts, okay? A lot of the home warranty companies out there will max out on what they'll cover per trade. So if they hit $2,000 in plumbing claims, they're done, okay? The homeowner is on their own for the rest of them. If they reach $2,500 in HVAC claims, they're done. Okay, we don't have limits. Okay, so we're not gonna tell any of your clients, sorry, we can't cover your water heater because you maxed out on your plumbing. Okay, that's really important. Okay, keep that in mind. $100 cheaper still, like Yancey said.
You got really nice mouse
For
pads.
sellers and buyers, it doesn't get any better. So,
So.
You guys mouse pad, hey, I just gotta say mouse pad, right?
And it's a great color.
Okay, it stands out. Anybody have any questions about home warranties? What's going on out in the market there? We're here to partner up and be your home warranty professional. So if you have any questions, anybody off the bat have any?
I just want to thank you for volunteering or to do a whole lot thing.
Got you. It's our pleasure.
And we want to thank everyone in this office that has supported our business. You guys have been amazing. We appreciate it.
We can do that because of some of the support we've received from your office.
Don't forget the umbrellas.
Yeah, we'll bring all the umbrellas. If you have that umbrella, we'll have an umbrella for you in the office. Okay, we won't take up any more of your time. Chicken's getting cold whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Please partnered with us for the last 8 years. These guys are great, so support them. All right, Bold. Liz, you know what Bold is. How
Yeah,
many times have you taken it?
not as many as Linda.
How many times have you taken Bold?
This will be number 13.
Wow. I thought it was only 10. What, 2 words to describe Bold, in your opinion?
2 words, let's see. Focus and money.
I like that.
Mine's like kind of 3 words. Mine's difficult, but worth it.
That's 4.
We don't count real estate.
No, we don't just leave that off.
Worth
No.
its hype.
Yeah.
I would say focus and accountability. Difficult is, I mean, if you need to jumpstart your business, Linda's done it 13 times, every time her business has grown. We're gonna talk more about it. Where did Coach Dave go? He left. What, who knows a Bold law? What's your favorite Bold law? Linda?
No pressure, no diamond.
Okay.
What you focus on expands.
Results or reasons, but you can't count on.
All work extends into the time lab. That's like been my real reality a lot.
If it's not in your schedule, it doesn't exist.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
wonderful.
go all day.
And here are some stats on Bold. Agents who attend Bold sell 50% more units and see a revenue jump of 114%. Our office goals, so we had more people at Bold last year because of Dave than any other office in the region, right?
It's just because I told them they didn't sign up, I'd cover their house. Yeah, we had, oh my gosh, we had close to 70 people in there for our office. It was incredible.
And the first day of Bold is absolutely free. So go and let them convince you that it's a great idea. I want 100 people.
Yep.
I want 100 of us
It's
there.
a big
That
goal.
first
We want
day.
100 people, there was a free lunch, and you'll leave with that, you'll leave from that day, motivated and inspired, and it's really great. So that's October 10th,
October 10th.
Monday, October 10th. Clear your calendar, we want everyone in the office to be there.
9 to 2:30, and it's at the Larry Miller campus. So, yeah, who would be interested in going that first day?
I'm going, and we can register after that first day.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And where is it at?
The Larry Miller campus.
It doesn't say here, across from the registration.
I'll get
When
it
you
out.
scan that link, it will.
Yeah, if you scan it. All right, and then this, the $7.99 is for all staffs. We will get the calendar of the days up front. And this is just really our first day of talking about it. And thank you, Addison, for decorating for it.
Yes, thank you.
Can I share some things?
Please.
My favorite bold law, I wanna jump in here, is how we show up here is how we show up everywhere, right? I don't believe that we can slack off on our lead gen and then go give a rock star listing presentation. You can't do it. If you slack in one area, you're gonna slack in the other. And bold will teach you the mentalities and routines to where you show up appropriately everywhere in your business and in your life worth living. The other thing, if $800 is like, I don't know how I'm gonna come up with that, we've got like, what, a little over 30 days before this kicks in. You can do a lot. You can do anything in this business in 30 days, right, Lee? Find a listing, find a buyer, put them under contract, make that money, come see me, we'll make a plan on how to do it.
Thank you, Dave. And if you do have a closing, if you're already under contract and know you're gonna have a closing between now and October 10th, you know, we can make it super easy for you by just taking that $7.99 out before you even get your money, and that way it doesn't even hurt.
I believe that way we wouldn't be taxed on that either.
No, that's a below the line deduction, sorry.
Contact your CPA about all tax.
Although it is, yeah, it's a tax.
I'm surprised what they would say, are you a CPA?
Tax expert.
Anyway, let's move on. Thank you. Golf tournament, Risa, it's coming up. What do you need?
We need more raffle prizes. We're almost full with teams. I mean, we still have, I think, a couple of slots. So if you still want to sign up, but we need raffle prizes. So please, if you frequent a restaurant and know the manager, or try and get us some raffle prizes. We sell, and the more money we make for KWCARES.
Is there anything made up where we can, when we're approaching people for raffle prizes, that we could show them?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I will send that out today.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I told you all about
Find
secret.
out that they want to see something.
Yeah.
Do that. And if you don't have a foursome, come to myself or Risa, Lynette, and we'll get you on somebody else's. So it's so much fun. It's for a good cause. It's just.
Yeah, you could sign up just one person
Yeah.
and put you on another team. It's so fun. You don't have to be the golfer.
And this is our biggest money maker for charity of the year, so, okay, thank you. All right, our summer contest, Rachel.
Yeah.
Ends.
So this essentially ends tomorrow. So there's the open house training with the Stern team today. And if you had anybody that you invited to an event over the last 3 months and you're not sure that you got an entry, let us know. We'll check and make sure you get that entry. So
We'll be drawing that next team meeting. So that's big money. Thank you. Someone can afford to go to Gold to win.
Yep.
Yay. All right, training calendar. Mike's not here today. Right after this team meeting, the people who went to Mega Camp, on Annie's suggestion, she wanted to get together and do a little mastermind and maybe pick another time when we could get together. And what we know is when we get too far away from the events, those things kind of leave our mind and we don't want that to happen, which is why we've got our panel up here in a few minutes. And then we have open house training with the Stern team, 12:30, 1:30, that's in here live. Wednesday, marketing, 11 to 12, Thursday, 11 to 12, also marketing, and then Friday, we have the full overview. Those are all Zoom.
those are all good. Yep.
Okay.
And remember also that Monday is a holiday, so the office is closed. And I did want to, so we just got done with Mega Camp, and they always announce the final dates for family reunion right after Mega Camp, which they did. So hopefully you all saw an email that came through. February 18th through the 21st in Anaheim. Several of us are already registered. The hotels are still available, the ones right at the convention center, and they're really, in Anaheim, it's actually super convenient.
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, and the prices were pretty reasonable for a room. I wrote Sabrina into it, I made her register. Because this is important.
Yes, I'm going, baby.
They will not be doing a digital option for family reunion at all.
I know.
Yes.
In person
We're
only.
back to live, which is good. And
Yeah.
hopefully after this panel
Yeah.
today, you'll be
Yeah.
inspired to want to go to our next convention.
For our new people, will you say what family reunion is? I just heard a couple people say, what is that?
Oh, it's our next convention in February. Well, we don't want to overwhelm you too much now.
Yeah,
Well, we'll talk about that. Yes, thank you. All right. So this was a video. We want to watch this before the panel. They showed this at, oh, sorry,
That's okay.
at a family reunion that Keller Williams just put out, and I wanted all of you to see this before we have our panelists come up.
2023, Keller Williams turns 40. Sometimes midlife crisis is a good thing. Now,
Anybody know
we're
that
not
is?
going to run out and buy a flashy sports car or a boat
I didn't realize.
or some other toy. We aren't suddenly going to grow a mustache because we've already got one. But it is time for something big because that's what we do. It's time to tell the world who we really are and why we were called to this. T.S. Eliot said, "We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time." We started as a small real estate company with a mission to become so trusted by our clients that we could become their realtor for life. But of course, Gary Keller taught us that to be realtors for life, we had to be more than realtors. We're coaches, therapists, mentors, mind readers, and magicians. We're digital hunters with human touch. Wheelers and dealers who want to use our powers for good. We are advocates and shoulders to cry on, friends to lean on, and confidants to trust. Together, we are the keys and the doors to new futures. This is the most important time in our lives, as a company, and simply as people. Your clients are feeling that same thing when they come to you. Their first homes, their final homes, newly married, newly divorced, empty nesters are more on the way. These are the most joyous, terrifying, and hopeful times of all our lives. Because your clients are jumping off cliffs and trusting you to build wings on the way down. We get to feel the thrill of that connection every day, if we do our jobs right. And if we do our jobs right, they aren't jobs at all. It is indeed a calling to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, and lives worth living. To be entrepreneurs. For 40 years, we at Keller Williams have deeply believed that entrepreneurship is the miracle of America. That in America, if you can dream it, you can build it. We're privileged to be in the business of buying and selling the most important and life-changing dream. The dream of owning a home of your own. It's not just an American dream, it's a dream shared around the world. At Keller Williams, we want to continue to earn the right to be the home of the dreamers, the doers, the entrepreneurs, the hundreds of thousands of you who have dreamed and built your own business, and in the process built ours. We all know everything changes, but we will always champion you, the entrepreneurs who are powered by purpose, by energy and passion, teamwork, trust, and technology, integrity and culture, and trained in the rules of how we would do it, but who also have the confidence to bend the rules in ways Gary never dreamed of, but hoped you would. You see, we aren't here to teach you our past, or to try and predict your future. We're here to help you create the future. We are reigniting a culture of celebrating entrepreneurial visionaries. Because real leaders don't create followers. We create more leaders. We are teaching rebellion and inspiring invention. Your mavericks and world changers. And your relentless creativity, fueled by the competitive drive inside every one of you, will make the real estate models of today look quaint by the time you're finished. Everything we ever did was a risk. We started as a little underdog company and grew to be the largest real estate company in the world. You know what underdogs do when they get big? They look for bigger fights. Look for those fights. We want you to out Gary. Take risks, take heart, take action. All these things that you are for your clients, the coach, the therapist, and the key to a new future, we will redevote ourselves to being for you. There's a reason we want your name larger than ours on signs. When you look at your clients and think to yourself, it's not about me, it's about them. Well, it's not about us. It's about you. This is the most important time in our lives. We're living in a home built for entrepreneurs to thrive. And true entrepreneurs don't have to wait for doors to open for them. After all, we have our own lockboxes. Welcome home.
I've never seen Gary with dark hair.
Well, when we all saw this at Mega Camp, that was the first time Gary Keller had seen it. And so, I mean, there were people were crying, and I thought it was so well done, so we wanted to share that.
I might have cried a little
Okay, come on.
bit. I just have to look away when they show the kids.
Can I have the panelists come up from Mega Camp? Yay. So we can all cry together.
Mega panelists.
I texted him.
Okay, thank you. Well, there he is.
There he is.
There he is. Well, thank you all for being willing to share today. I want to start out by having all of you say who you are and how many times, or if you can't remember, if it's the first. Cameron, would you?
I'm Cameron Brookside, and I've been to Mega Camp, I think, 3 or 4 times. I've been to family probably a equal amount of times, but Mega Camp was the first time. I actually went to Mega Camp before joining Keller Williams. That was kind of the final pitch on me joining Keller Williams just to be recruited. I went out there and I remember in about 10 minutes with Gary coming on the stage, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the right company. So.
This is actually my first time live. I took it digital in 2020. I'm a huge family reunion person. I go every single year to that. This is actually my first time for Mega Camp.
I'm Annie Trujillo. This is my.
Oh, I'm Liz Bear.
Everybody
knows.
This is my first time live too. I watched it online, texting this the whole time last year. So yeah, yes,
And how different, live, and the energy of everybody, crazy different, right?
yeah.
Yep, Lynn, how about you?
I'm Linda Birch. That was my second live Mega Camp. I went to the new agent and then I went with this guy this year.
Who's this guy?
Taylor Westmoreland.
Thank you.
Pronunciation.
This is my first Mega Camp.
So I asked all of you to share 1 or 2 things that you took away that really impacted you and that you have come back and implemented. Most importantly, I think we take copious notes and then we never read them. I always think if you do 1 or 2 things, you've got something huge out of it. So Cameron, let's start with you.
So actually something different than I talked about earlier today, but so this was something that happened within one of the classes of Mega Camp, and something that happened as part of outside of Mega Camp that I thought fit well together. I don't know how many people in here went to Mega Camp? Anybody out? Okay, so it's more for us. And you saw it though. You saw it. I don't know if you remember. There was a video where it showed, and I can't remember which college. She was a female basketball coach.
Yeah.
And yeah, you do. And she had basically she was talking to some of the freshmen, some of the people who would come in, and she was talking about just what to expect. And I preface this by saying, one of the things that was brought up is that they talked about how with what's happening with the market, it's going to get harder with what's going on. And if you take a look to say, we are on pace to do the same amount of deals this year that we did back when the last time we had the same amount of deals that we're projected to have, we had a third fewer agents to do them, meaning there are going to be more agents going after fewer deals. And so the idea behind that is it's not just going to be this easy get up, throw a house on the market and get a paycheck. And I really like that because one of the things that this woman had said was, this coach had said, when she's talking to these new people who come on, she said, it does not get easier, you get better at handling hard. Become a person who handles hard well, don't get discouraged when it gets hard. And one of the things that was so interesting about that is we go through this whole event where we're learning really great things and being around these inspiring people. And towards the very end of the event, we were taking an Uber ride to the airport. And our Uber driver was a really interesting guy, and he'd been a cab driver for 20 years. He was kind of a funny, weird dude. But he made the comment, I asked him, I said, how long have you been an Uber driver? And he said, well, I was a cab driver before for 20 years. And I said, what did you think about Uber taking over? He said, first we fought it, but then we accepted it, thought it was a cool thing. And he kind of made the statement that he didn't like being an Uber driver, he didn't like being a cab driver. And I said, well, wait a minute, you said you were a cab driver for 20 years, right? He said, yeah. I said, why did you do it for 20 years if you didn't like it? And his answer was something that I was really kind of resonated with me in the sense of everything we had just gone through was the antithesis of that. And his answer was, he said, well, I talked to another cabbie about this one day, and he said, he gave me the really perfect answer. He said, it's the path of least resistance. And so this guy had spent his adult career in the path of least resistance. And we looked at what he was doing now, and it's not necessarily a lot of things that we would be aspiring to. So I kind of married those two ideas of saying, at family reunion or mega camp, they're telling us it's going to be hard, we need to embrace it. And if you look at the alternative, it's not exactly something we'd be wanting. So I think coming back and implementing that, it's realizing that, yeah, things are going to suck some days and you're going to wish you weren't in the business, but he's saying you've got to embrace that, you've got to look forward to it and know that when it's hard, that other people are going through that same thing, and that's our competition. So
I love that. I also know from Liz that you came home and did a GPS right after the camp. What can you share a little bit about what that looked like?
yeah, so what we did is we had all the team on the ride home, on the plane ride home, is we put together a GPS so that we could start working on things when we got back. And one of the things I wanted to do is I have not been doing this good of a job of contacting my database that I have in the past. So my GPS was around how to contact database.
Specifically, okay, that's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that.
My big aha was kind of something similar. It was interesting seeing some of the major agents that I just think are the most amazing people, and having them be pretty vulnerable up on that big stage saying we thought we were super talented and super smart, and now that the market's shifting, we're realizing we actually need to go back and retrain. Because I think that's been it's been irking me a little bit this year, is I think this question keeps revolving in my head, was I really a good agent those years, or was the market just really good? And I mean, I can be honest, I think it's a combination of both, right? And so that was kind of my big ahas. It's we have to go back and back to 2018, 2019 and do all those little extra things that we used to do that in 2020 and 2021, the market was so insane and everything was going so fast that we just didn't even have to. So that was my big thing, is just really stepping up our client care and just, the amount of events we're doing and the things that we're doing throughout the transaction. And then my GPS that I built was around an opportunity fund. So it's basically I haven't figured out exactly what I'm going to call it yet, but it's some kind of investor wealth building seminar, but the emphasis will be on targeting people just like me, weird, that have really young children that are thinking, okay, how am I going to put them through college, or how am I going to help them better their life somehow? And this guy, Mr. Personality, he had a really great idea. He called it an opportunity fund, and he's setting people up on 15 and 20-year mortgages and having them buy an investment property. So then when their kids are 18 years old, they basically own something free and clear, and they have, a couple $100,000 to do something with. And all that time you're having somebody else pay it off for you. So that was what my GPS was around, was creating that investor seminar.
Thank you. And Annie, first time live for you.
Yeah, first time. Honestly, I found it really overwhelming. I found it wildly overwhelming. You kind of come and you go, oh, within our office, and oh, I'm pretty good at this, I've been doing all right. And then you sit in front of these people that are selling an unfathomable amount of homes you know, and then I'll go, yeah, but like, how many are on their team, right? Everybody, right? And then one woman's like, yeah, there's 7 on my team, and we sold 700 out.
They were
whatever.
insane.
It was
Yeah.
absurd. You know, like,
You're like, I can't breathe even.
I'm like, I can't even, and they all have different ideas. There's like 10,000 different, and I came back and I told Corey, I was like, I feel like I've wasted 7 years. Like, and she was like, what are you talking about? Like, you know,
You'll get over that.
she was like, you don't want to waste, yeah, I was like, I haven't been calling everybody 4 times a year. I haven't been writing notes to other agents. I haven't been doing all this stuff. And I was like, in this total tailspin of like, oh my God, I wasted 7 years. What am I gonna do with my life? And she brought me back to like, when you taught that class, you talked about authenticity and doing what authentically makes sense for you and your clients. And then I looked back at my own business and I was like, okay, I was like, I have been like really authentic in how I do my business and doing the things that bring me joy, which is, I feel like what has led to this success. So then I looked back on all the things I learned and all the different things that people are doing, and some of the things that people are doing make me go like, no, I don't want to do that. And then I thought, okay, what are the things that truly inspire me? And one of them was an idea of doing wealth building classes. So like, I think some of you guys know, I used to do this thing on Instagram called Tuesdays and the Twos, and I would like every Tuesday I'd go and tour homes under $300,000 where people want to live. And when we started running out of those priced homes, I moved on to Thursdays and the Threes. And I just didn't find it as inspiring because I was like, these are like crappy houses and they're kind of expensive for like what you're getting. And so I backed off and I didn't do that anymore. And I was like, what's the foundation of that? Wealth building is the foundation of that. So like I closed this morning a $350,000 house, which I haven't done in a long time. And it ain't pretty, but these kids, and I say kids because they're like very young people, are so excited to get in there and like learn about the baseboard, do the thing. And I was like, and when they learned about like the tax incentive for buying a house, I was like, yes, this is your first step to building wealth and like implementing wealth building courses, because I work with a lot of young people who don't have a lot of money and being like, okay, how can I ask Shauna for the blue book, the like investor Keller Williams book? I was like, okay, I'm gonna start like really digging into investing stuff and start having these classes so that I can share that information, what I've done with my life and what I've learned. So that was one.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go,
You
yeah.
like the rankings.
Yeah, I like that. So yeah, I think really finding, instead of being overwhelmed by all the things that you learn, really finding what resonates with you and what you're inspired by. And as long as you're doing that authentically and it's really like something that you love, that's going to show your business and your clientele and how to treat them, rather than trying to do all the things that everybody's saying they're doing. If you hate it, it's just not going to be something that you're going to stick around with.
You're gonna be a new group driver for 20 years.
Yeah.
But you don't want that.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of talk about getting back to basics and fundamentals.
Yeah.
I love that you got,
I'm
you're
glad
getting
you're
back to yours.
The other one, and I'll try to be quick on this one because I feel like I've been talking, but the other one is unfortunately was on the last day. Like I was like, well, I don't want to hang out around all these realtors. Like I don't really care about these people. Like we're all, you know, whatever. And on the last day, yes, you know, like everybody else, I like didn't really feel a need to like really like schmooze with people. I was like, oh no. And on the last day, this woman was like, yeah, my first family reunion or mega camp, like I collected 100 business cards and then I wrote down like, and I hand wrote them all notes and sent them out. And I thought I'd get 100 notes back and nobody sent back. And I was like, I'm the only one doing this. And through that, 45% of her business is referral business through these other agents. And I was like, dude, Annie, you're super social. You can talk to people and endear them to you. You should have been talking to people. Salt Lake City's a hub. Everybody's moving here. There would have been 100 agents. And they're like, oh, Annie's amazing. Like, send her the business. And I'm like, God, I wasted my time.
Next year.
Why did you tell me before? So
Well,
that's
that's
why I
why-
had to check it.
And that's why we keep going back. You know who did that at such a high level was Josh Stern. He would.
And Sean Eric.
John's good at it too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that means you're gonna have to go back, Annie.
I know.
Family reunion.
I love that you realize that and come back with passion. You maybe had lost a little bit. So it's wonderful. Thank you. Linda.
I think one of the biggest messages that hit me was, as our market shifts, we are shifting into a skills-based market. everyone for so long has been in this service-based market, like how can I serve you as quickly as possible and get you into your place or out of your place as quickly as possible? And now we're really going into a skills-based market where you have to know your market, know your numbers, know how to articulate what is going on and how to price right at a really high level to be successful. And bringing that home, I started taking an overview look at our business and our systems we have in place and how we can best set our agents up for success so that the data and the skill set is something that we can be focused on and the service aspect is really dialed in and done on.
I saw you and Taylor were doing a GPS in Sky Lounge while we were waiting for our flight. What were you doing around that?
So I took a look at all of our systems and kind of outlined what needed to be tweaked or redefined or quite honestly put in place. There were some things that were missing and then I'll let Taylor tell you.
And you learned about those things from Reckitt Camp or kind of realized they were?
It's been kind of in the back of my mind, but the last 3 years have been insanity. Like I don't even have time to show homes. When am I gonna write up a whole system, And so just taking that step back and realizing that it's important to have those systems in place so that you can go and do more business.
Love that. Taylor, what did you expect and what do you think?
She told me to expect a fire hose.
Fire hose.
So have you ever seen the old cartoons where the Wile E. Coyotes trample down the hose and it's just falling around everywhere, just every time it smacks you in the face? Every single time a new panel of people would come out, it's just another slap of that's a brilliant idea. There's so much here that could be done, but you can't do 80 things, right? You can't go to the buffet and expect to eat all of it. And so you have to really dial in and be like, which one or two of these things is what resonates with you the most on how you want to grow and build your business. For me, it's face-to-face interaction. I enjoy open houses. I'm that weird guy, right? I enjoy open houses. I don't mind door knocking. I enjoy being able to connect people in my community. So building a book of service professionals and stuff in different communities to be able to refer to people and things like that was a huge takeaway for me. Just revitalizing that, or even developing the initial vitality to really grind and cook into things in the right way.
Love that. Would you recommend people go?
Yeah, it was awesome. You meet tons and tons of people. Yeah, and you enjoy embracing everything and listening to all of it. It's just really, really understand that you can't bring it all home. So just really try to get that one thing if you can focus on that.
I love that. Does anyone have any questions for these guys? Oh, we have them? What was the funniest thing Gary Keller said?
I just love sitting next to Cameron because we have natural over here so hard. He says something stupid. We're like, I just like seeing Cameron get very.
You were like, is he serious or not? He had some dad jokes that were on point.
You dumbasses out in the hall.
He was speaking to the back room. He's like, I see you back there. You were all late.
He walked in 15 minutes afterwards and everything got started up and he's like, so now that you've actually shown up, we can begin. And just straight called out the whole audience.
I bet you though that's why they are getting rid of the rituals, because I think so many people come and they're like, oh, I'm just gonna network, so I'll watch it later.
Yeah, that could be. I loved how he kept saying, this is an average count. Yeah. Actually, I like it. And also, at the beginning, he said, lead generate more. Have a great day. We're done. We're done.
So Sean Erickson, his big takeaway, he and I were talking about it in the lounge at the end, and his whole thing was like, okay, the shift is coming. Our mindset has to be get out there and do the work. That's it. That's how you maintain and you grow your business. Get out there and do the work.
Do the work. Get back to basics and fundamentals as well. So.
Oh, can I just say one other thing about the overwhelming fire hose filling? Because I remember that the first probably 2 or 3 events I went to, just feeling so overwhelmed. But it's weird because as you keep going and as you develop in your business, it's so much easier for you to zero in kind of early. You're like, oh, I think this is my thing, and then you really focus on that. So don't let the overwhelmingness stop you from going.
I think if you're going with the intention of getting something specific out of it too, and you might go back a little differently.
Yeah, a little more focused.
Little
And I think
Like,
family
I was
reunions
like
easier
so
to focus on something.
Because you can choose your sessions and such. Well, I just appreciate you all sharing. It was a fun time and yeah, appreciate your time. Thanks for being here. Hey, we'll do a